happening right now in Israel is a planned attack. This was intentional. This was an inside job of the deep state. I'm about to give an unpopular opinion and I don't really give a shit. This is the fucking truth. Wake the fuck up, people. This was intentional 100%. Let me break it down for you. Many of you guys are distracted and not actually paying attention to what's actually happening. If you actually understand and do your homework around what the deep state actually does is it funds terrorist organization groups like Hamas, like Hezbollah, like ISIS, like the cartels. They fund these fucking terrorist organization groups and play as though that they are the liberals. In reality, they are the ones that are killing humanity. As an Israeli, I am completely disgusted with the images that are coming through from my country as I was there just a few short days ago, and my family and friends are still there, and my heart goes out to my entire country. So let me break down a couple of details that are missing in this narrative and in this story, the type that the media is not going to cover as always. Something like this has never happened before, and the fact that people think it's a coincidence that this happened exactly 50 years after the Yom Kippur War is a coincidence. It is not a coincidence. This shit is fucking planned to the T. Talk about two key players in the deep state, Bibi and Biden. Biden had just freed up $6 billion to Iran, okay? The people that fund Hamas. What did Iran do with that money? With Hamas, they bought weapons. They planned this entire thing. And so now we have Biden going on national television, pretending like he's Israel's friend of Israel and saying that he has our back. Do you guys not see how this is all a setup? Imagine paying money to one group to buy weapons to start a war and then saying that you support the group that's actually getting attacked and you're gonna like send them weapons so that they can attack the other group. That is some fucking deep state cabal stuff. Wake the fuck up, people. And let's talk about Bibi Netanyahu, right? Israel's dictator for the longest time in history's government's history. Right? Him. Yeah, that guy. If you don't really know a lot about him, he is definitely a deep state player. And if you watch a documentary on Amazon Prime, there is a documentary called King Bibi, and you will see where this guy started and how he's been deep state for decades now. Okay? Well, in the country of Israel, if you haven't been up to date with the news and what's been going on in the last couple of months, there's been a civil war and also a government war because people don't want Bibi as the dictator of the country any longer. And so it's created a civil war between the people, the liberals, the Democrats versus the Republicans, right? And then you have all this other mess that's happening in the Knesset, which is our Congress and our government in Israel, and they can't get along either. So isn't this the perfect situation to come out a superhero, Bibi, right? So isn't this so convenient that while there's a civil war happening in the country and while there's a government like Congress war happening within Israel, that this war all of a sudden happens, right? Like out of nowhere, like bullshit, you guys, fucking bullshit. Bibi is in on it. Biden's in on it. They're all in on it. It's the deep state. The deep state funds these terrorist organization groups behind the scene. Yes, it's the Democratic Party. Yes, it's the liberals of the world who pretend to be the saviors of the world, but in reality, they are not. They are the war criminals, the ones that are creating crimes against humanity over and over and over again. So here we have the perfect situation set up for Bibi to come out a superhero, right? The Bibi, the guy that always knows how to settle and handle all the freaking wars in the Middle East and fight Hamas and all the things. This was such good timing for him, right? Because normally in Israel, when there is a war, people aren't divided. They come together as one, especially due to the fact that the military in Israel for both females and males are mandatory. And so we normally tend to come together as one against the enemy. So this is very convenient for Bibi to kind of like put aside all the drama that's been happening in the government and in his country and now face the real enemy and then come out of it, I don't know, in a few weeks from now, thinking that everyone forgot about what the fuck he did and who the fuck he really is. As a person who is highly familiar with what actually goes down in my country of Israel, I was born in Israel. I left Israel at the age of 8 because of a war and a chemical threat, and I've experienced war and terrorist attacks in the area. And in the meantime, while I was visiting Israel through the years, I know how shit is done and run. I can tell you that what happened this time around has never happened in the history of Israel. Israel has the Mossad, the Shabak. We have like high intelligence What fucking happened here was intentional. It was on purpose. I understand the logistic that it was Shabbat. It was 6:30 in the morning. It was a holy high holiday. And even with all those factors, our borders are secured as fudge. Okay, this has never happened before. Never happened before. But all of a sudden, on the 50 years anniversary of the Yom Kippur War, where we won the war and took back Jerusalem, that's when this happens. And on top of that, this is like the part that makes no fucking sense. This is the part that's shady as fuck to me, is the fact that the police and the army and everyone did not respond for the first 12 hours. People were dying, people were getting massacred, kidnapped, raped, and no one, like, no connection. Like, this is 2023, like, no fucking telephones, no helicopters, no bombs. Like, we're powerless. That is the fucking biggest load of shit I've ever fucking heard or experienced. And anybody that believes narrative is a load of shit. The fucking government turned their backs against the people, just like they do every fucking time a natural disaster happens. They let us fight for ourselves and they turn their back against on us. I'll take it as far as even letting you know that the rave, the nature, the music festival party that happened in the desert, that I believe that was also planned and adjusted from somehow the government high up to adjust the situation where there's a bunch of young people in the middle of the desert right next to the Gaza Strip, right next to the border, right? Like, what the fuck, okay? This was just done and planned, okay? Obviously, the people that went inside didn't know that this was gonna happen, right? As they don't in normal massacres and music festivals and things like that. But this is a fucking act against humanity. This is a terrorist attack done from the Hamas, but also by the government. I'm telling you, I don't buy any of this bullshit that anyone else is going to try to sell me or tell me. This was a perfect opportunity to rank up the numbers on the amounts of people that were going to go missing and the amounts of people that were going to die, to then orchestrate a freaking war. Everything was planned. Nothing is an accident, okay? And it breaks my heart that this comes at the cost of innocent people that were just trying to live a peaceful life. My heart goes out to all my Jewish people, to all the people that were massacred and murdered, to all the people that were raped, the women and children, that everyone that is kidnapped, may you come home. May God protect our soldiers and our troops and our land and our people always and forever. The fact that even at this point, less than 48 hours after the attack, parents and family members of people that went missing, that people that are dead, are asking questions of the government, of the police, of the military, and no one has contacted them. They are driving from hospital to hospital, going in the fields, trying to find their family members, and there are no answers from the government. Bibi has barely spoke. He spoke yesterday, not freaking relevant any longer. What is happening? This is disgusting. This is a disgrace. What happened here should have never, ever happened. As we speak right now, there are still terrorists roaming around in Israel with weapons, okay? I do not believe that it's an accident that Hamas broke through the border like they did and rampaged it and no one was there. They did this in multiple areas. That's the most fucking protected area out of the fucking world, okay? Next to Antarctica. That is the most protectivest area. How did this happen and no one was paying attention? No one was noticing? No alarms went off? Bullshit, guys. Bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. I am angry. I am angry at the government, at the deep state, for toying with human beings like it is a fucking movie and a TV show. This is a fucking game to them. It always has been and it always will be. And that's the sad reality of living here on planet Earth. The entire country wants to know where the government was while this was happening and where was the military when this was going down. And no one has answers. So here are my answers.